Have you ever caught yourself talking to your phone when it won't load, or apologizing to a chair after bumping into it? Maybe you've named your car, thanked your coffee maker, or cursed at your laptop like it could actually hear you. Most people do this, but here's the question. Why? Why do we treat lifeless objects like they have feelings? Is it loneliness, a sign of something deeper, or maybe just how our brain is wired? Stick with me, because what you're about to discover might explain a lot more about you than you think. First, let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you talk to objects. Psychologists call this anthropomorphism, the tendency to give human traits to non-human things. And it's not random. Your brain is a pattern-seeking machine. It evolved to detect faces, intentions, and emotions because that helped you survive. Recognizing a threat in the wild meant reading behavior fast, friend or enemy, safe or dangerous. But that wiring doesn't turn off when you're staring at a toaster. So when your computer freezes, your brain treats it like a living thing that's choosing to be difficult. When your plant looks sad, you talk to it like it needs encouragement. You're not broken. You're just human. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone does this the same way. Some people talk to objects constantly, others rarely do, and the difference reveals something about their psychology. People who frequently talk to objects tend to score higher on what researchers call social connection needs. If you're someone who names your vacuum cleaner or apologizes to your desk, you might be more empathetic, more emotionally expressive, more comfortable forming bonds, even imaginary ones. Studies show that people who anthropomorphize are often better at reading emotions and understanding perspectives. They're not childish, they're socially wired. Their brain is so tuned to connection that it finds it everywhere, even in things that can't connect back. Then there's another layer, loneliness. When humans feel isolated, they start projecting companionship onto whatever's around them. This isn't weakness, it's survival. Your brain craves interaction so deeply that it will manufacture it if it has to. This is why people living alone often develop stronger relationships with their belongings. The coffee maker becomes a morning friend. The car becomes a partner on long drives. The phone becomes something you vent to when no one else is listening. It's not sadness, it's your mind adapting to what it needs. But here's what most people don't realize. Talking to objects can actually improve your mental state. Research on self-talk shows that externalizing your thoughts, even to something that can't respond, helps you process emotions, solve problems, and reduce stress. When you tell your pen to work properly, you're not losing your mind, you're organizing it. When you thank your shoes for lasting another day, you're practicing gratitude. When you curse at your printer, you're releasing frustration instead of bottling it up. Your brain doesn't always care if the listener is real. It just needs the act of speaking to function better. And there's something else going on. Control, or the illusion of it. Life is unpredictable, chaotic, full of things you can't manage. But when you talk to an object, you're creating a sense of agency. You're treating something lifeless like it has intention, which means you can negotiate with it, reason with it, influence it. Even though deep down you know it's not real, the act itself makes you feel less powerless. This is why people talk to their cars before a long trip, why they whisper to their computers during important tasks, why they name their tools, their gadgets, their furniture. It's a psychological strategy, a way to turn randomness into something that feels manageable. Now here's the part that might surprise you. Talking to objects isn't just common, it's actually a sign of intelligence. Studies show that people who anthropomorphize tend to have more active imaginations, stronger creative thinking, and better problem-solving skills. They're not detached from reality, they're engaging with it in a flexible way. Their brain doesn't see the world as purely mechanical, it sees potential for meaning everywhere. That's not delusion, that's adaptability. But let's be honest, society judges this behavior. You talk to your phone in public, and people look at you sideways. You tell someone you named your fridge, and they laugh. The world treats it like it's childish, eccentric, weird. But here's the truth.
The people who mock it are often the ones who've lost touch with that part of themselves. They've learned to suppress it because they were told it wasn't normal. But suppression doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it's buried. In the person who freely talks to their belongings, they're not the strange one. They're the one who stayed connected to something most people forgot.
So whether you talk to your objects all the time or never at all, both reveal something about how your brain works. For some, it's about empathy. For others, it's about loneliness. For many, it's about control, creativity, and comfort. The real question is, do you do it? And if you do, have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Because once you understand the psychology behind it, you realize it's not weird, it's just deeply, beautifully human. If this made you think differently about the way you talk to things, you'll love the other psychology topics we cover here. Hit subscribe and share to a person who needs to understand it so you don't miss the next video.